now?
Yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah.
do it back to
Okay.
back as flipping thing.
Alright. Yeah.
Alright, YouTube. Okay, yep. First world problems, spare me the sermon. We're continuing this. And we're live! Again! Yeah, I really just lagged out as I was about to give my spiel on Dark Souls. So,
Yeah.
this is the first ever part 2 to a podcast, because my Wi-Fi just kind of pooped itself.
Yes, it did.
You know, maybe this warrants a reset after this. See, now I'm fine. I'm in the consistent green right now on Discord.
I mean, it is recommended for you to reset your router every half year. Not even half a year, like every month.
I do it often, and
Yeah.
it's fine for a little bit, but then the traffic just picks up after that. I don't know where it comes from, but the traffic picks up after it starts lagging. Or whatever.
Mine only acts up if I'm like downloading. That's it.
I
Mine
finished
doesn't
downloading.
act up like.
Yeah.
Uh,
I had to install a Rainbow Six Siege update a few hours ago, and it was a 2 gigabyte update. It took what 10 minutes or something, and then it was done. I don't know what's running on. I mean, my PC is still on from that update, but maybe that affects it. But who knows?
Yeah.
My updates are done. I didn't open the Epic Games launcher at all today. And I only had one short update. I didn't even download a game. I just updated a game today in Steam.
Yeah.
But
You played Rainbow yet?
just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you're gonna go about your Demon Souls?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Dark Souls. I'm guilty of
Or
this.
Dark Souls, yeah.
I am guilty of cheating because I was stuck. I felt like I was at an impasse. Am I using that word correctly? Hopefully I'm using that word correctly.
Impasse.
I felt like I was at an impasse in Dark Souls Remastered because leveling up was pretty slow at the time, and then I do streams purely just for farming souls. That would take more than an hour, purely just for farming souls. I felt like I didn't make much progress, and I wasn't skilled enough mechanically to take on the harder bosses, because I remember one time, one of the earlier bosses in the game, the Capra Demon, it's confined to this tight room, and it took me, I want to say, maybe one boss. And once I conquered it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is over, finally. But I was at an average, I was a good paced, I was at a good pace in terms of my leveling, but I felt like I could be faster. So I resorted to YouTube. I did soul farming methods, but even then I felt like I took too long for that game. That game is renowned for its extreme difficulty, and I felt the extreme difficulty. I think it was my first, I want to say it was my first roguelike I've ever played, or at least finished to 100%. So for my first roguelike, I just couldn't. It was hard. It was difficult. So I kept playing through. I did soul farming methods, and I felt like I was too slow. So finally, I resorted to a glitch that allowed me to potentially get millions of souls at a time. Therefore, I can accelerate the development of my character by speccing millions of souls into stuff like vitality and then my stamina. So then I did the souls glitch. My health and stamina bar just went all the way across the screen just like that. And then I went through the rest of the game with ease. And that's
Ease.
I was guilty. That's the time when I was guilty of cheating to get 100%. If I was revoked for a platinum trophy, that would be one of them I'd be okay with being revoked, because I did something that wasn't part of the game intentionally.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe the developers should have fixed that glitch, but if I were to be revoked of a platinum trophy, that would be one of them I would say, okay, yeah, you can do that. I used a glitch.
I don't remember any glitches that I did in any games, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember any like glitches that I did in any games. even in GTA, I didn't even ask for like money drops or anything. So, interesting. Yeah, I can't remember any time that I cheated except for Pokemon. Pokemon was like the only time I've ever cheated on a game, but it was like on a GBA emulator because I was playing the older ones, Emerald. I didn't feel like actually playing the game, so I just went around and see what it had to offer. Pretty much, just walking around, but I didn't actually like play the game, like actually fighting the gym leaders and all that kind of stuff. I skipped like I think all the trainers, and I set my level to like all max 100, so I could beat like every trainer with ease in the game. But otherwise than that, I didn't do actual like cheating when I got stuck in any games or that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. By the way, I gave up on Bloodborne pretty quick.
'Cause it's hard,
That game is
right?
hard. It's so hard. I didn't even get the chance to beat the first boss. I think like I played it for like a week. I still couldn't pass the boss.
Yeah.
And I gave up. The first boss was like so hard. I like each time I would do it, I would either like have quarter way like done or like halfway already. But yeah, it's pretty hard game. I mean, it's pretty similar to Demon Souls, right? Or Dark Souls. I mean,
Same developer, yeah. And
or same developer.
same
Yeah.
developer and same director with the same general vision of a hard roguelike game. Different
Yeah,
atmosphere,
pretty much.
but
Yeah,
or
but
setting.
same
rather.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was your GBA emulator on PC or the Switch?
Oh no, I did on my phone.
Oh, your phone. Okay. And then you played
Yeah.
the Pokemon on that one?
Yeah, but it was a while ago. It was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Been a while.
See, reading this again, okay, now I get why there are four different reasons. Before I said, those two reasons could be combined, but basically what I was doing was for reasons 1 and 2. I was stuck and I wanted to play God. So what did I do? I played God. I boosted myself all the way up. Then I proceeded with my platinum trophy hunt. But
Yeah.
for that reason, the first one, the author, I kind of interpreted differently. So cheating based on being stuck. In the little prompt, it says it implies that walkthroughs are considered cheating if the whole premise of this essay or something, narrative, whatever, that cheating is good for you, then technically walkthroughs is a form of cheating. Technically, by technicality, you're relying on someone else to help you finish a game. It says that now imagine instead that players can consult walkthroughs on an as-needed basis to help them through the troublesome spots, or receive hints that help them figure out things on their own. Players who have completed the game create walkthroughs for later players. In short, players are teaching one another and learning from each other, and getting only the information they need to keep going. Everyone is taking an active part in playing and learning how to play. This is a good thing for everyone involved. So that's different. No, I did. Now that I think about it, I did consult a walkthrough. I didn't know how to do the soul glitch, so I looked up the video. Yeah, okay, now this makes sense. Never mind. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't know the soul glitch, and quite frankly, I was too angry to even come up with a strategy at the time. So then hold on, my mouth is dry. I'm gonna drink some water. No flavoring this time because I don't feel hydrated sometimes when I drink it with this. But anyway, Okay, the next reason to play God, it says, so for the reasons to play God and cheating and how that's perhaps good for you, it says, next, players often use cheat codes which unlock special items or powers to get the most value from the game. See, that's different because the developers put that into the game intentionally. They didn't put there aren't these artificial constraints that are put into the game made by the developers. See, the Souls glitch was a manipulation of whatever Dark Souls had that wasn't intended by the developer. You're manipulating the game to get an advantage. This one, the developer just put it in. So it says, next, players often use cheat codes, which unlock special items or powers to get the most value from a game. This suggests that players enjoy the game so much that when they reach the end, they want to play it more. That means more opportunities for interaction with the game. Cheat codes can be hidden in a game for players to find and then share with others. Or codes can be awarded to excellent players or given to newer, more tentative players to encourage them to keep... Wait, hold on. Cheat codes? The only instance where I remember cheat codes is the Lego games. You could put in alphanumeric codes, six character alphanumeric codes to unlock characters rather than going about the conventional way to unlock them. But codes can be awarded to excellent players. Do you know any games that gives cheat codes to excellent players?
No, not that I can recall.
I don't. Yeah, I can't either. Codes can be awarded to excellent players. I guess.
Yeah, no.
I don't call them cheat codes though. To award cosmetics, sure, but cheat codes, I don't know if that fits under cheat codes. I can't remember a game that awards a cheat code for being an excellent player. Maybe I would assume in stuff like RPG games where you have a leveling system. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this, and maybe I'll look back on this later and find an obvious example that I just kind of brain farted in the stream. But I can't think of a cheat code being awarded, to an excellent player.
Yeah.
To keep them playing, but I mean, if excellent entails skill, then maybe my I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
I don't know what maybe it means another thing, but I'm not sure if I know any games that goes, oh, you're so good at the game, let's give you a cheat code.
It's just a weird way it was set up in this. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but they keep the experience enjoyable in different ways for different players. Sure, we'll not argue with that. Next, the next reason that she describes is so the third reason is that people cheat because they're bored. And then it says, game designers don't usually want them skipping to the end of a game. Yet does the game need to have a linear progression? This is more of the case for action-adventure games. All of this is probably entails action-adventure games. Could players choose where in the game to go next, or the elements they want to tackle? Are there different ways to succeed through battle, through puzzle solving, through dialogue? Different players have different skill sets. So giving everyone an equal shot at doing well is preferable, as is allowing players to more quickly get to the sections they find rewarding. Why players cheat to curb boredom? I don't have the mental capacity in this moment to reason with that. But I know that Godfall released the Challenger Edition, which I'm playing right now, which is the exact antithesis of what this is saying. as in it's not cheating so the game designers don't usually want them skipping to the end of the game. That's exactly what the Challenger Edition of Godfall does. Puts you straight to the end game content, immediately levels you up to 50 max level.
Whoa.
And yeah, no, I have the game. It's cool. Combat and whatever. People didn't like the story of that game, which is probably why they made a Challenger Edition. I don't know. But I'm playing the Challenger Edition. I'm level 50 from the exact moment I finished the tutorial, and I had access to all the endgame content. So that what Gearbox is doing is the exact opposite of what this is. It's implemented. It's not cheating, but I can't really reason with this in this moment.
Yeah. Oh, it's made by Gearbox, Godfall?
I think so, yeah. Let me double check that. The game's alright. It's fine. I have a few reservations with that game. There are a few bugs.
I mean, you got Borderlands by Gearbox.
Developed by Counterplay and published by Gearbox. So I guess Counterplay, yeah, is a developer. But
No,
anyway.
I think Gearbox is a publisher. They're not a developer.
Yeah, Gearbox is the publisher of Godfall, from Wikipedia at least. But
Wikipedia.
when players get bored, let me try and unpack this. People cheat because they're bored.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, does the game need to have a... Sure, yeah, but the reasons that are listed are kind of...
I guess you can set an example of Grand Theft Auto, I guess. There you go.
When players get bored, maybe if you're stuck. If you're stuck progressing as slowly as you want, are there different ways? That's a weird...
Or you just want to annoy people.
Well, that's the last part. The fourth reason,
really?
The fourth reason is people cheat because they want to be a jerk. It says, what about the jerks? What about the jerks? Everyone wants a perfect opponent like Lisa... I can't relate with the Simpson reference, but I'll say it. Everyone wants a perfect opponent like Lisa Simpson, but more often we end up playing with her brother Bart. Yeah, maybe Bart is a jerk, but I didn't watch enough Simpsons material to understand that reference. In EVE Online, for instance, one player, Night Freeze, allegedly cheated his in-game friends and rivals out of hundreds of millions of in-game credits using nothing but fake accounts, a public library's telephone, some help from friends, and his wits. Okay, people cheat because they want to be a jerk. All right.
Would smurfing be considered cheating? No, I'm kidding.
Perhaps under these definitions.
Yeah, pretty much.
You are a higher skill level, and you are purposely bringing yourself down to a lower skill level, just to feel good. I guess. I don't know. Maybe if you want to play with your friends, but generally smurfing, it's just you're technically a high skill level, creating a new account to bring yourself down to a lower skill level. Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah. Smurfing under these definitions is perhaps cheating. And then it says, in such situations, the value is found not in the cheating itself, but our reaction to it. There are a couple of things that can be done to either stop this sort of cheating or make it a positive aspect of play. Users themselves often encourage a culture of non-cheating, making cheating not cool. Most commonly, player communities can take an active role in deciding what happens when people are discovered cheating. Psychologists have found that when playing games, if players aren't allowed to punish others they suspect of cheating, the game community falls apart. People will even pay money to punish cheaters, so figuring out ways to keep the larger community involved in dealing... punishment. That's punishment, pretty much. So being part of a community to discourage... I mean, that just kind of gives a whole... That just kind of reinforces... Maybe I may be wrong, but that just kind of reinforces kind of a negative environment when it comes to games, because if they're so focused on punishing the cheaters, if that's the community, that I don't know, maybe that's a minor part of the community. As counterintuitive as it may seem, cheating can be can sometimes be good for you. It can keep you active and involved in a game, reward gameplay and allow expert players. So cheating can reward gameplay.
In what ways?
Well, hold on. Let me try and unpack this. It can keep you active and involved in a game. Reward gameplay. Okay, active and involved, perhaps. Reward gameplay. Cheating rewards gameplay. I don't think I necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean that's just merit. It's not cheating if you do well and you get a reward or something. That means you played the game. The best example I can remember off the top of my head is when I completed the first Devil May Cry game on the hardest difficulty. Then I unlocked a special version of Dante called Super Dante, which enabled unlimited Devil Trigger, which is kind of like a power-up in that game. So, after completing the hardest difficulty in the game, the developer put a special character into the game that made me stronger. So this was incurred by the developer. I don't think that's cheating. It's just a feature that did reward my gameplay. I don't think adding Super Dante is cheating. Maybe in stuff like speedruns or whatever, maybe you'll have separate categories whether, to tackle the game on Super Dante or regular Dante. Maybe in speedrunning, those two categories are different, and maybe one is more respected than the other. But I don't think it's inherently cheating when the developers themselves put it in the game as a reward. Maybe in serious communities, like speedrunning communities, maybe they'll discourage the Super Dante when speedrunning Devil May Cry or something. But it's inherent that cheating may reward gameplay, and to that I say, depends on the game. I don't even
unless
know
if you're using cheating to, like you said, getting through like a challenging course in the game.
Yeah, but what I did was straight up, cheating. There was nothing the developer intended in there that I did.
Yeah,
it was 100% manipulation of the game, externally, not internally. So yeah, that was one of the stories that I hope to get a more meaningful discussion on during class. The other one was written by Amy Tan. Are you familiar with Amy Tan? Do you know the book The Joy Luck Club?
No, I don't.
So Amy Tan is an Asian American author, and she wrote an essay called Mother Tongue. And basically the premise of the essay, I was reading it on the fourth floor of the college. And I was just kind of thinking about it a little bit because it just kind of relates to me. So the premise of this essay is that Amy Tan speaks two types. Well, generally, what I remember, she speaks two primary types of English. The English that she speaks to her colleagues, and the one that she speaks to her mother. And generally, the one that she speaks to her mother is kind of like... See, she even frowns upon it herself to use the term broken English. Because her mother speaks in fragments, but she generally understands the meaning of that English. So she argues that it's not technically broken if you understand. Let me find that real quick. Let me find broken. So the quote here. So yeah, she speaks two types of English, one to her colleagues, one to her mother. And then I'm just going to read this paragraph here. So it says, lately I've been giving more thought to the kind of English my mother speaks. Like others, I have described it to people as broken or fractured English. but I wince when I say that. It has always bothered me that I can think of no way to describe it other than broken, as if it were damaged and needed to be fixed, as if it lacked a certain wholeness and soundness. I've heard other terms used, limited English, for example, but they seem just as bad, as if everything is limited, including people's perceptions of the limited English speaker. So, you know, I also kind of hesitate when I say that she uses broken English with her mother, because later on in the little essay, she explains that, you know, her mother has probably just as good of a command as English as she does. It's just she expresses it in a different way. You know, broken, as she thinks, she implies that something needs to be fixed with it. Perhaps, you know, something needs, grammatically, maybe it needs to be fixed. I understand that, but, you know, I also kind of wince when I use broken English after reading this. And then she says, I know this for a fact because when I was growing up, my mother's limited English limited my perception of her. I was ashamed of her English. I believe that her English reflected the quality of what she had to say. That is, because she expressed them imperfectly, her thoughts were imperfect. And I had plenty of empirical evidence to support me. The fact that people in department stores, at banks, and at restaurants did not take her seriously did not give her good service, pretended not to understand her, or even acted as if they did not hear her. So, basically, it was just... And then she goes on to explain... yeah, just the... And then the whole turning point of this essay was when she was giving a formal presentation, just kind of an important formal presentation, and then Amy Tan felt weird because her mother was in the audience, so she felt kind of conflicted to express her thoughts in the formal English that she would use in her with her colleagues, but you know the kicker at the end, what is it? I'm trying to explain this as succinctly as possible, but it's 11:58, and I'm not exactly at my zenith, my mental zenith right now.
Hey, I'm kind of sleepy, not gonna lie.
Okay, but all right, I'll give you the summary at the end. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. So the big kicker here is I wanted to capture what language ability tests can never reveal: her intent, her passion, her imagery, the rhythms of her speech, and the nature of her thoughts. Apart from what any critic had to say about my writing, I knew I had succeeded where it counted when my mother finished reading my book and gave me her verdict. So easy to read. And that's basically the two kind of Englishes merging together. And it culminated in her mother's verdict saying so easy to read. Being that
Interesting.
That despite using her formal presentation of English, her mother was still able to read it. So that's where the two come together. Despite her I don't know, watered down limited English, that's where the two come together. That's where her mother could understand her formal writing. And
through writing, I guess. Or
I was
speech too.
I was hoping to get into that a little more during class. Maybe ask some students about their experiences with kind of English limitations and whatnot, but you know, all we did was
I certainly had English limitations.
I witnessed this firsthand, but it was so long ago I can't remember the details.
You said it a couple times before how I was like yelling a couple random stuff. What did I yell?
I don't remember yelling. I don't remember
Yeah,
yelling.
I yelled something, and then I was pretending to read a book. Remember
Oh, that
that?
was Genesis. Yeah, Genesis told me you were trying to read a Harry Potter book or something.
Yeah, and I could not even read English. I just came
But
from Indo.
all I could remember from first grade is that you were very animated. You like to move a lot, despite not knowing that much English. You kind
Yeah.
of told your own sort of story, just moving. I remember you were having a conference with the teacher and you just kept kicking the box right next to you. That's what I remember. I remember you just expressing yourself with emotions to try to get through the school day. And then
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember this one time we were the teacher was like, "Okay, heads down," and then everybody was supposed to do this. But then you had a coat, you had the hoodie on, and then you had the zipper up all the way, and then all you did was that. And I don't think
That's so funny.
And then I don't know. The teacher kept telling you to put your head down and whatever. But you kind of took it like this as putting your head down. That's what I remember.
That's funny. I don't remember that much, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't either.
I had my moments.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And here you are now, you're speaking English, and
Yeah. Right.
you can have a conversation and whatnot.
I'm tired. And
Here, I'll ask you.
Guess...
I'll ask you one last question.
Okay.
Which language, Indo or English, are you more comfortable using these days?
I'm comfortable with both, honestly.
If
But
you
to
have
be
to
honest,
pick
I guess
one for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
definitely English because I had the most time to use it. Definitely because grocery store, school, sometimes home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the most usage. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Other else than that, yeah, I'm still decent at Indo, I guess. I can't like talk in like detail, I guess, if I tried to, but I can get along, I guess. Yeah. Better than most people. There you go.
Nice.
Better than most people.
Yeah. All right. You're a sleepyhead, and
Yes.
despite our stream being cut in half due to Wi-Fi complications, I finally got to express what I wanted to say in class for those two essays that I was describing. So YouTube, thanks for watching. If you want to follow Kenrick on Twitch, that is twitch.tv/Kazuterior. That's KAZUTARIOR_. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.